Very important. Obviously, we did something very similar to it last year, and obviously, this is like the big one that's out of the school. It's actually in a place. I don't know what this even is. To be fair, huh? A convention center. There you go. And yeah, it's amazing being able to almost give back. Obviously, giving advice to the kids, letting them know that there's other ways to try to make it in life. You don't necessarily have to go through the normal school system that everybody does. So it's like actually go out, take a risk, and do some other stuff. You know what I mean? Have fun. I think it probably would have accelerated it because I've always said online like I wanted to start YouTube in 2012, but it was more so like not having that confidence, not wanting to take the risk, and having like insecurities and stuff. So it was like I wanted to do it, but I was too nervous. So I think if I was to have this, I could have been on YouTube for over 12 years now, you know what I mean? But obviously things happen for a reason. So I didn't start in 2012, I started in 2015. And yeah, stuff like this is very important because I feel like it gives people that extra push and extra motivation that they need, you know? Because if I had someone that was online or doing something different that came to my school and gave us advice, it probably would have helped, genuinely. I'm not. I'll be honest. I think it was. If I'm honest, if I'm being very honest, I was too nervous to start. So then, boom. Obviously, I've started uni, and when I've started uni, I realized that I was like, you know what, like it's now or never in it, because I've got 3 years to do a bachelorette or a bachelor degree, right? And it's like if I don't leave now, then I'm gonna have to carry on doing this and then become a statistician. That's what that's what I was studying, financial maths, and it was boring. You know, I didn't enjoy it. I know there's some people that love it out there, so it makes sense if you do enjoy it to carry on doing it. But for me, it's like I was just good at it. It didn't mean I liked it. So I was thinking it's either now or never. So after doing the first year, quote unquote, because it was really like 3 or 4 months of me studying, then I realized I was like, nah, I'm checked out. So I kind of just thought, let me just try and take a risk and see what happens. If this doesn't work, then I was gonna go back. You know, so. Yeah, generally, I think the reason I did it was because I had no other option, if I'm honest. Yeah, definitely, 100%. I think for me, it's also like, it's one thing telling kids and telling people that are up and coming to carry on and be consistent coming from me because of the fact that you know what I mean, you're looking, thinking, oh, well, this guy's top of his game and stuff. But obviously, you also have to just kind of feel it for yourself and actually, you know, that, for example, people like your mom and your dad or your family would give you like, give you advice and you won't really take it because you haven't been in that situation to think it's like a serious advice, and then when you're in it and you're like, oh rah, like I should have actually listened to them. Because like growing up, my mum and my dad and mum were like, enjoy being a kid, and I was like, well, why would I want to be an adult, you know what I mean? I'm an adult now. I'm like, rah, I actually must have been a kid, I should have listened to what they said, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, you're not gonna, until you feel it, you're not gonna really understand it. There's a saying that people say, I forgot what it was. It's like, if you don't I forgot the saying, but it was basically saying like, until you feel, you're not going to understand type of vibe, you know what I mean? Obviously not verbatim, but there's something along the lines. So it's like, generally, until you actually experience it yourself, you won't understand. So just listen. Like when I say risk it, take a risk, why not? See what happens. Genuinely, like you said yourself, because of the fact that when I was starting in 2015, it was like I had KSI, but obviously he didn't have like the similar upbringings to me in terms of like, obviously he was like, he went to private school and stuff like that, so that's cool and it's lit to do private school, don't get it twisted, but obviously I didn't have the luxury of doing that. So I kind of had like Poet, David Vianich, Arnold Squeezy, but again, it wasn't content that I wanted to do because they did football content. So for me, it was kind of like making my own blueprint and kind of just going and taking a risk and being spontaneous and just winging it, if I'm honest, you know what I mean? So I didn't really have anyone I could look up at and say, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do, or copy someone's content. So that's why I kind of had a lot of my own raw kind of content. So I started a rap battle and I did it because I was like, I've seen people do rap battles in terms of in America, so I brought it over here, you know what I mean? I did that for myself. Solving dilemmas, I remember seeing Mike's Comedy do it, another like content creator who was on YouTube, so I thought, let me make a YouTube concept, you know. General knowledge, like it's just, I just randomly came up with these things and said, let's slap each other on the neck. So it was like, I kind of just created my own lane, and thankfully it kind of worked out for me, luckily, alhamdulillah, you know. So I don't know, genuinely, I didn't really have anything to go off. But obviously now, there's so many YouTubers you can just kind of look at and be like, well, I'm going to take that idea and change it up a little bit. And that's what a lot of people are doing nowadays, you know. And that's probably why I feel like I've lost a lot of love for it, because it's like, it's not as organic and raw as it once was, you know. But I understand with time, that's what ends up happening. So yeah, we're here now, 2024. To be fair, it's also like, it's very important to try to differentiate. Just try to just create your own kind of lane, create your own kind of content, and obviously try to be within the guidelines. But at the end of the day, everybody's gonna make mistakes. Everybody has their own journey and their own religious journey, you know. So it's like we're gonna make mistakes, and it's about trying to learn from them at the end of the day. So don't be too scared to make mistakes, because at the end of the day, like you have your own personal relationship with God, you know, and obviously you have hopefully a good parents, good family, good structure at home where people can kind of put you back onto that straight path if you are kind of veering off, you know. So I'm lucky to have that, definitely. Genuinely, for me, obviously, me being young when I was in school, it would literally be a way out of going down the conventional route. So anything, honestly, anything where I feel like I could be myself, and where I can show my personality, show my confidence, and not necessarily have to think about academics, you know, because I was good at it, but I just didn't enjoy it. That's the only difference. So I'm telling obviously the kids out back home, like, if you do enjoy doing something, go for it. You know what I mean? It could be anything, but just remember to have plan A up until plan Z. You know what I mean? Don't just think I've got one thing and I'm gonna hone in on it and see what happens, because if it doesn't go right for you, then that's when people get like very disheartened and stuff. So for me, generally, going back to the question, it would be anything where I can feel like I can be myself. That's what I'd wanna like lock into, definitely. I don't think I'm what's the word? Like, I ain't got enough ideas for that, you know. I'll be honest. I feel like what I'm good at is helping someone come up with an idea. For example, they can show me like a canvas, and then they can start working on it, and then I can give them ideas on how to improve it. I don't think I'm good at starting something from the beginning, and I've realized that, like, within my group, like Beta Squad, for example, Nico and AJ usually are the ones that come with the fresh ideas, and then I'm the one that kind of just says, oh, instead of doing it this way, you should do it this way, and they're like, oh, that's cool, you know what I mean? So I'm good at helping an idea come into fruition instead of starting it from the ground up. So I know my strengths and weaknesses, thankfully, because I've been in this game for a long time. So it's about kind of understanding what your strengths are and just working on that, you know what I mean? Because I ain't got time to be working on weaknesses, because that's too much things to do, you know what I mean? So that's me. I like developing. That's what I was going for. I like developing ideas. So let me know, man, if you need me to develop. I'm there. Yeah. So we had a first session this morning already. Luckily, just were able to give out some awards to the kids, give them some quote unquote words of wisdom, and just kind of let them know that they don't have to go down this convention route, like I said, and to be more expressive, take more risks, have more fun. And it was good to take some pictures with them, speak to a couple of them, and generally I'm excited to see the next batch of kids, and just as I can speak to them and just tell them what I generally feel like, you know, it's gonna be good. Gems, obviously very cliche, but I genuinely mean it. That's like being consistent, taking risks, like having loads of different type of ventures I like planned. Because for me, if it didn't work out for me, I would have done something else, you know. So it's like, and try to be original, be raw, be organic, you know. Because a lot of things are done online now, you know. Everything's saturated. So try to be a bit different. Because I think if you just do what everyone else is doing, what's gonna make you stand out? What's your USP? You know what I mean? What's your unique selling point? So, yeah, I think it's that type of content, that type of advice that people have had before, but just listen to it. If you keep hearing it, then there must be some truth to it. You know what I mean? To be fair, it's like it depends, because a lot of people don't have patience no more for it. You know what I mean? Especially with TikTok coming about, because people can be TikTok famous in a week. You know? So it's like, if that's the kind of bag you want to get into and be on TikTok, no problem, go for it. But if you want to have like a long existing relationship and a long shelf life on YouTube or online, you have to build a fan base and a fan group, and people that actually mess with you and rock with you, you know. So I feel like long form content is the most important, because once you get people rocking with you for long form, then you're gonna have people that are by your side until you decide to hang up the boots, you know. So TikTok is a good way to get into it, I think, but then also have plans when you're on TikTok to think about, how do I make long form content? How do I get to work with the brands? How do I, you know what I mean? So it's very important to maybe see TikTok as a little stepping stone, but try to branch out after that. Don't just stay on TikTok, because how long is it going to be about for? You know what I mean? We don't know. But shout out TikTok. I do love it, but YouTube is obviously where it started for me. Oh, that's generally the most important thing. Like, you can see all the content creators now that still have a shelf life. Like, the majority of them are doing what I just literally said. So it's like, take people. I get when I say be organic, be raw, you know what I mean, have original ideas, but also don't be silly to not use the people around you and watch what they're doing and just emulate it and make it your own thing. You know what I mean? Because that's what you have to do. So Like example, I seen someone doing clothing. I thought, you know what, let me now do my own clothing brand. I've always wanted to do it. It's like there's obviously certain reasons why people at the top do a certain thing. You know what I mean? You're looking at KSI and Logan Paul right now with Prime. It's going crazy. So it's like shows you once you have your own fan base and once you have your own like people that mess with you, you can make a product and people will support because of the fact it's you and they're buying into you. You know? So it's like there's loads of things that you can take advice from and look around yourself. You don't have to be in direct contact with somebody to get advice from them. You know what I mean? Just look at their moves, change it a little bit, and make it you. Yeah, collaboration is very important. Especially like, let's say you have 10K followers and your friend has 7K followers. Let's say 10% of that other person's, like the guy with 7,000 messaged you, so there's 700 people. You gain 700 followers from that collab. He gains 20% off you. You get 2,000 off of that. My man's now on 9,000. This guy's on 10,700. You know what I mean? It's like helping each other to grow. And obviously, when you have more people that you rock with, you're more motivated to stay on because when you're feeling down, that person's gonna, you know what I mean, make you confident and make you feel like, oh, you know, I want to make videos, vice versa. Whereas if you're by yourself, it's much more difficult. It's possible, don't get it twisted, but it's much more difficult to kind of be online by yourself because it's a lonely, cold world out there, man. I'll be honest. The internet, as good as it is, it also has its lows, you know, so very important to have a good structure around you, definitely. Probably Sharks, my friend Sharky, or Philly. Or Harry, like all three of them are very stylish, they got good style. And to be fair, a lot of the times when I do shopping, I go with Philly, because recently he's changed it up. He used to be in tracksuits 24/7, and now he's dressing good. So I think I'll definitely ask some advice from Philly. But yeah, he's a bit too quirky for me, I think. You know what I mean? When men start flaring their jeans, and that ain't my vibe. But obviously, shout out to him. You see me, I'm just a tracksuit. I'm classic. But yeah, definitely, if I feel like I got a red carpet event to step to, it's going to be a Philly or Sharky situation, definitely. Favorite thing about JD, generally for me, is how important it was for me growing up as well. That's definitely one thing, because like having a connection with a brand before they even knew who I was, like when I was literally 12, 13, 14, and whenever I got paid Eid money or birthday money, first thing I want to do is buy new shoes. And JD was a brand that I've rocked with from a kid. So even being able to say that I'm an ambassador, I work alongside them, is still crazy. It's still a pinch me moment. And yeah, it's just right now it's just about elevating the content, making it the best on YouTube, and just growing together, you know. It's very important for me, aligning our brands together. So yeah, it's been a great first year, or however long it's been now. It's been a long time. Was it 18 months? 2 years. There you go, 2 years. So yeah, man, time's flying, and I'm enjoying my time here. So here's to more years, hopefully.